I've kept a secret for over 40 years that defines my entire life. I caused a death as a child, and my parents helped me cover it up. This is going to sound like something out of a true crime documentary, but it's my reality. For 43 years, I've carried a secret that feels less like a burden and more like the very air I breathe. It's shaped every decision, every relationship, every quiet moment of reflection. I'm finally putting it out here, anonymously, because the weight of it, after all this time, is starting to buckle my knees. I was 8 years old. It was a sweltering summer day, the kind where the cicadas hummed so loud they vibrated through the ground. My family lived on a property with an old abandoned well, partially covered by rotting wooden planks. My father had put up warning signs, but being a kid, I saw it as a forbidden adventure. I'd climb onto the rickety planks, daring myself to peek down into the dark abyss. It was stupid and dangerous, and I knew it. On this particular day, a neighborhood kid, much smaller than me, maybe 5 or 6, had wandered onto our property. Let's call him Timmy. Timmy was known for being curious, always exploring. I remember seeing him approach the well from a distance. Panic seized me. I knew my parents would be furious if they found him there. In a misguided attempt to warn him away quickly to scare him off before he even saw me, I yelled, "Hey, get out of here!" at the top of my lungs and stomped hard on the weakest part of the planks. My intention was to make a loud noise, to scare him, but the rotten wood, already weakened by years of neglect and my own foolish games, splintered under my foot. Timmy, startled by my shout, took a step back, tripped on a root, and fell backward, right through the gaping hole I had just created in the well cover. The scream that followed still echoes in my mind. It was tiny, terrified, and then silence. I remember staring at the hole, my heart pounding so hard I thought it would burst. I called his name, but there was no answer, just the damp, earthy smell rising from below. My initial panic turned into a cold, paralyzing fear. I thought I killed him, I killed Timmy. I ran inside, crying, hysterical. My mother, seeing my state, immediately thought I had fallen or been hurt. When I managed to choke out what had happened, her face went white. My father, always the pragmatist, was called. He went out to the well, he peered down, and then without a word he came back inside, his face like stone. "He's gone," he said, his voice flat. "There's nothing we can do." What happened next was a blur of adult whispers and a chilling, life-altering decision. My parents, protective to a fault, terrified of the consequences for their child, decided we would say nothing. They quickly reinforced the well cover with stronger, newer wood, making it look as though it had always been sturdy. They moved a heavy old wagon over it, just for good measure. They told me, in no uncertain terms, that this was our secret. Forever. "It was an accident, honey," my mother kept saying, stroking my hair. "But people won't understand. They'll blame you. We have to protect you." A search party was organized for Timmy that evening. I remember sitting on the porch swing, watching the flashlights cut through the twilight, listening to the shouts of his parents, the rising desperation in their voices. I felt sick. My parents held me close, acting just as distressed as the neighbors. They comforted Timmy's grieving family in the following days, participated in the ongoing search, and never once flinched. They were incredible actors, or perhaps they were just as terrified as I was. Timmy was never found. The official theory was that he'd wandered too far and gotten lost in the woods, or perhaps fallen into the nearby river. That day carved a fault line through my life. I became quiet, withdrawn. My childhood evaporated. Every time I saw Timmy's parents, their grief etched onto their faces. A wave of nausea would wash over me. I became hypervigilant, always looking over my shoulder, convinced someone knew, someone saw. This secret has dictated my life. I never pursued a career that would put me in a position of high visibility or public scrutiny. I chose a quiet, behind-the-scenes job. I avoid conflict at all costs. I've never told a single soul, not a best friend, not a partner I lived with for years. How could I? How could I ever look someone in the eye and tell them I caused a child's death and then watched his parents suffer for decades while I walked free? My own parents are both gone now. They took that secret to their graves, and I sometimes wonder if it corroded them from the inside out, the way it has me. I think about Timmy, frozen in time as a 5-year-old whenever I see a child that age. It's a constant, dull ache, punctuated by moments of sharp, blinding guilt. I don't expect absolution. There's no undoing it. I just needed to say it, once, into the void, to confirm that it happened, that I exist, and that this shadow has been my lifelong companion. Sometimes I wonder if this is purgatory, living a life of quiet penitence, forever haunted by the echo of a tiny scream and the crushing weight of a parent's misguided love.